can't lie, my day, it's not going as planned. And let me tell you why it's not going as planned. Disclaimer, if I'm swearing a lot, just know the anger and where it's coming from. Because I know if this happened to you, you would be feeling the same as well. How can I be sleeping? Because bear in mind, like, I've been recovering from Friday night. I went out for my friend. Well, I didn't go out. I went to her spot for her birthday. I was with my man, my other friends. It was a really nice vibe. I really enjoyed it. We took some pictures. Like, I was really enjoying myself. Saturday recovering, boom. Today now, because it happened today, I'm sleeping peacefully, trying to recover because I'm exhausted. Like, drinking, you guys understand, this is why I don't drink like that. Drinking so excessively, it takes a toll on your body, and I just can't partake anymore. But I'm sleeping. This happened around like 5 a.m. I have 2 cats, Rocky and Tiger. But we finna talk about Tiger, okay? Because Rocky was sleeping peacefully like a good boy. He was sleeping like a good boy. I'm sleeping and I'm feeling something warm and strong in the air. Why am I waking up to piss? It like piss went through my duvet onto my tracksuit that I was sleeping in. When I tell you the anger that came out of me, because I just said, oh my god, if this is on my mattress, I'm dead. Thank god it wasn't on my mattress, but it was on my duvet and my bed sheets. And with cat pee, it's so strong. Like, I had to open the windows. I was just sitting on the edge of the bed. You know that picture of the fox, the meme of the fox on the chair? That was me. I was just thinking about life. I just said, why did I choose to get cats? And this is the thing. This is not the first time this cat has peed on my bed. But I'm not understanding why she did it. Why today she had to do it. Why? So, of course, I ended up sleeping on, imagine, no bed sheet on the bed, just straight mattress and a spare duvet. That was terrible sleep. But you know, I went to dry cleaners and sorted it out. I was so angry, man. I swear that cat can't come in my room anymore. Although I love her, yes, but like, you don't understand. But anyway, back to, the segment. So today I'm going to be talking about human interactions and how to understand each other. So I want to recommend you guys a series as well that I was watching with my man. So I no longer use Netflix for the time being. I'm using Prime. But I can't really find any good episodes or series on Prime. I don't know how to use Prime. I've been seeing some other things though. But it's not really my forte. But I'm watching a series. Well, I watched a series on BBC iPlayer, and what was it called? Borders. It was about 4 black students who got picked to attend a boarding school. Some of it actually got to me because it's like racism and stuff like that, like the treatment of black people in predominantly white boarding schools and stuff like that. It got me a little tight. But overall, I really enjoyed the series. BBC, they've been on their Zoom, because even Champion was a good series. Now Borders is a good series. BBC are on their Zoom, especially with black creators and stuff. I'm like, you guys are doing your thing. So I suggest everyone go watch Borders. It's a really good series. Like, I wouldn't recommend something that's not good. But yeah, y'all should watch it. I recommend. But yeah, I'm reading a new book called Surrounded by Idiots. I forgot the author's name. But yeah, I'm reading that book. And to be fair, I'm at the beginning of the book. I just started reading it like 2 weeks ago. I'm really a slow reader, so yeah, I take my time because I wanna take in the information instead of reading it like in 1 week or in a day. Like, no, I like to take my time because I like to take in the information and be like, you know what, I actually learned something from this book. But yeah, when reading the book, it kind of opened my eyes to things already. So I'm gonna make this a 2-part series on what I've learned from the beginning of the book and end of the book, how my perspective on life or people in general has changed. So yeah, this book is about the author experiencing like different human interactions he's had and what he's learned, and how he encounters like different types of people. The book is very intriguing to read because there's different columns there's different color columns, so yellow, green, blue, red. Right now the chapter I'm reading is about red, but I don't want to spoil it. But it's taught me a lot on how to interact with certain people, because I feel like human interaction is very important. I feel like you can't have that mindset of, you can't judge a book by its cover, or we don't get along because something's so minute. I feel like as human beings, we need to take time to study each other, like psychology actually. We need to take time to study each other, learn how to cater to that person. So kind of come to a compromise, because you don't want to make your life too hard where it's like, I can't talk to this person because he did it. I don't know. I can't think of an example right now, but I know what I'm saying. But it's like, beggars can't be choosers at the end of the day. Like, yes, you may not get along with that person at the moment, but I feel like sometimes give people the benefit of the doubt. That's one thing I can say. But I don't know, I feel like with me, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I feel like I get along with everybody to a certain extent. When I say get along with everybody, it's like I can be cordial with you, but we can still have a good time, because I take time to get to know people around me, if that makes sense. And I feel like my personality is very big, so when I encounter someone with a bigger personality, I'm like, ooh, it's a little too much. But I can vibe with you and get along with you, because I feel like, as human beings, we need to be very kind to each other, if that makes sense. And I feel like we are very judgmental, and I guess we base it on first impressions is everything. That's why I'm always telling people, when you meet people, try to be yourself, because what harm can be done if you're being yourself? Save the stress of having a bad encounter. Speaking of encounters, I just want to touch on the book. He mentioned some good points, like the only time we are ourselves is if we are with people that we're comfortable with, like family, friends, boyfriend. But then again, I feel like sometimes around your friends, some people are not being themselves. I know I am. I'm myself all the time. Maybe at work you're different, which is, it's expected. Like, at work, like, to be yourself is, I don't know how to be fair, I really don't know. Like, I'm very quiet when it comes to work. Like, fuck that job, I'm just here for the pay, so if I have to kiss some ass just to get with the program, I'm gonna have to do it. But that sounded very vulgar, my apologies, y'all. Sounded very vulgar. But yeah, as I said before, human interactions, I just find it so fascinating, because there's so many people in this world that don't know how to talk to each other, excuse me, they don't know how to talk to each other. But I want to tell you guys a story, a little encounter I had at work with a fellow colleague of mine. So, I don't know, the conversation started very weird. We were talking about our cats, because she has a Maine Coon, and if you know what a Maine Coon is, they're quite big cats. They're like the size of a dog, and I have a British short hair and half Burmese, half tabby. The half Burmese, half tabby is Tiger, and the British short hair is Rocky. They're both brown. Beautiful, beautiful babies. I love my babies. But yeah, she's in her 40s, like early 40s. I don't want to disclose her age, but she's in her early 40s, and she was just telling me how she's so content with life, the life choices she's made, like, she's so content. She's been through life, through her 20s, 40s, 30s, and I'm just sitting here like, damn, I'm just in my early 20s, and I'm complaining about not feeling fulfilled with friends, or I'm not fulfilled, or I haven't found a sense of purpose in life, if that makes sense. And she was just giving me she was just making sense. I don't know how to put it, but she was saying things like life is better when it's not so noisy or too much chaos. And she made a reference of like a deaf person, they can't hear anything, so life must be peaceful for them. I don't know, but that made sense. And she was like, how are you meant to grow when there's so much noise around you? Not the noise being people, or like, let me go in depth. Like, when I say people, like, always someone's always saying something about you, or there's always comments. So of course you indulge in those comments, and you start to lose yourself because of people's opinions. So she's saying it's better to distance yourself and grow within yourself. That's what I've been doing. But I was like, she's doing it now. She's got to a point where she's saying, fuck the friends, fuck everything else. Like, I'm so content being by myself. She was even saying, I sit in the garden, get a glass of wine, and I'm chilling. Like, I can say this is like the best of the best. Like, life is great without people or without friends. Like, she has her friends, but she doesn't really call them friends. She was like, they're more so acquaintances because she's had enough of friends. And I'm like, I've been struggling with finding, I always say, my forever friends, if that makes sense. Or it's just like, I want to be around a group of people that makes me feel like life is worth living and life is full of purpose. But she was also telling me, like, you know, friendships are like book chapters. Not all book chapters are the same. So you get long-winded chapters and short ones. So you kind of have to live in the moment and just take in, you know, life day by day. So don't sweat the small stuff, if that makes sense. Yeah, don't sweat the small stuff, which is, you know, I need to take that advice, because I'm always stressing, I'm always overthinking things, but I just feel like I'm so in tune with myself that I know what is best for me and what I don't need and what I need, and I know what I expect in life. So I guess that's why I'm always stressing. But even when we was having a conversation, I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed in the sense of I've been feeling like I've not made it because I'm not where I need to be, if that makes sense. Like, I'm rushing. Like, the train is leaving the station, I'm there grabbing my suitcase and my bag and I'm running for the train. But in reality, the train ain't going nowhere. It's still at a standstill. Like, it's waiting for me. So I guess I can walk and take my time to, you know, to the train, hop on, take my seat and just go along with the ride. If that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense. Like, so basically, she's basically telling me, like, I asked her, like, what advice would you give someone that is my age, so 23? And she was just saying, take life day by day. Take it easy. Don't stress. You know, like, you're doing amazing. Where you are now, you're doing amazing, because there might not be people that are at the stage of where you are, if that makes sense, you know. But even when she was talking, looking into her eyes, I could tell she's so content with life. And it's like, I want to be at that stage where I'm so content with life. I'm not sweating the small stuff. Like, if it's meant to be, it will be. If it's not, it's not. It's fine. Like, but then again, it's like, when you go on a, you know, when you're doing a walk of life by yourself, I guess it's good to see who really cares for you and who really don't. Those that don't show up for you, it's okay if they don't show up for you, because there'll be a bunch of new people that will show up for you, or people that you never expected are there showing up for you, if that makes sense. But just to touch on human interaction, like that there, I don't even know her, and she felt so comfortable to, you know, share some details about her life and what she's going through and how she overcomes it and how she deals with things. So I feel like this is a conversation that I'm going to cherish, because I know anyone can tell me, you know, take it easy, live your life, but this one here, I feel like she was passionate, and her eyes were just giving me, like, so caring, so passionate. Like, I don't know how to put it in words, but if you was there in a moment, you would understand what I mean. And I feel like, yeah, man, you can learn so much from each other when having small conversations could change your life. Like, I don't think people understand the severity of how important human interaction is. And I feel like, you know, I feel like to be good at having conversations with people, you need to evaluate yourself as well and see what you're doing wrong within yourself. That let me make it more better, or make it make sense. Like, if you're someone that don't get along with people, that are always saying, like, in the book, the guy interviewed someone, and he was like a billionaire or something, and the billionaire was saying, everyone around me is idiots. Like, I'm surrounded by idiots. Like, no one gets it. But then the guy was like, it doesn't make sense why you're saying everyone around you is idiots, but in reality, you're the issue here. Like, you're failing to take time and get to know these people and treat them as human beings, but because you don't want to be open-minded, you're there saying, I'm surrounded by idiots. So I feel like that's something you need to work on within yourself to be able to get along with people. Because I feel like if you can get along with people, do you know how many doors will open for you because you get along with so many people? So take that into consideration. And it's to do with like self-growth and self-healing, you know. But yeah, I thought I wanted to share this. I'm sorry if it sounds all over the place, but this is something that I've been wanting to record. I'm also going to a networking event later today. I'm kind of excited but a little bit nervous because I'm going by myself, and I'm meeting with a new friend. We ain't never met in person before, but we talk on Instagram and stuff. So I feel like it's going to be a very good experience to socialize with different type of creatives, which I'm all for. It's just my anxiety is kicking and I'm like, I can't do it. So I'm just amping myself up and just going with the flow. Of course, I'm going to share my experience in another episode. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And yeah, take it easy. Don't stress. You good, okay?